Real quick, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, but fake news is real. I'm going to attempt to give you the real news on the TDI scandal and how that money became the issue on this. From the research I've done, the NOx was the big issue with these cars, and from what I found, I can't find 100% of this stuff. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I want you to look this up for your own. Europe's standards for NOx are 0.28, and American standards are 0.02 for NOx. Now in 2006, the emission standards, and this was pounds per year, both of those was 6 pounds per year for that car. So basically they went from 6 pounds per year to 0.02, which is too much of a jump. So the news media made a big problem out of this. They said, oh, it's 5 times the emission standards. We'll do some math here. 5 times 0.02 is not even, is 0.1, okay? And they said, well, when you floor it, it's 40 times the emission standards. Well, let me ask you something. How often do you floor your car? How often? Maybe once a month, maybe whatever it is. It's a very minute period of time that you ever do use your car and put it on the floor. So the media and the EPA made a big deal out of this. For what? To get these cars off the road. Now, I want you to think about what it takes to get one of these cars off the road. So basically what you're saying is you're going to take it out and have it crushed. How many pounds of NOx do you think it is to have a car crushed? I don't have an exact number on that, but I'm sure it's in the hundreds of pounds category. So in the lifetime of this car, if it was just left alone and they just left it the way it was and it went through the rest of its life, let's say 15 years from now or whatever, and was still on the road for some reason, it would probably emit, probably what that car does in 1 year. So what is the problem? The news made a really big deal out of this. They made such a big deal out of it that everybody was scared to death and turned their cars in. To have them crushed, that's what happened to your old car when you took it into the dealer. If they weren't able to do an equitable repair on it and resell it. So in other words, if they were upside down in it and they tried to fix it and resell the car, and it wasn't equitable for them to do so, the car went to the crusher. It was not able to be recycled. They didn't take the engine out. They didn't do anything. They were not able to because the judgment did not allow them to. So those of you who thought you were doing the right thing to turn your car in, guess what? You screwed the environment up. You did not get it fixed. I got mine fixed. This car's fixed. It was no big deal. There's almost no change in the drivability. In fact, the mileage I think is a little bit better than it was before. I'm not really too sure on that, but I've tested it and I think most of the time it's a little bit better. And there was almost virtually no change. Now, there's probably some other reasons why VW put those put that emission software in there, the cheating software, for longevity of the car or something like that maybe, or for serviceability or some kind of emissions breakdown or something like that, to try and meet the long-term warranties. But who knows exactly what it was. But plus they didn't have the technology in 2009 as they do now. And I think what they did is they just used some of the latest technology and software for the older cars to make them run like the newer ones. So the thing I just want to say is, before you listen to the news again about something like this, maybe you should do some research, and like I did, and find out whether the news is screwing you over, because guess what? That's exactly what they did. The news cost us environmental problems. Talk to you in the next video.